In this particular Palmistry video, I'll try to explain to you what is basically different in your particular hand from the other people. That is basically, this is the heart line and this is touching your headline. This is the headline, so it's touching out here. So this is something that is basically rare. Whenever the heart line touches the headline somewhere out here, it could mean that the person could have misplaced affection, being affectionate to people who are not worth your affection, or giving time or effort or energies to people who are not worth it. It is always better to have the lines pointing towards the fingers. Pointing towards the finger is considered to be good, and it basically indicates like more positivity and positive relations happening in your life. So this is one aspect. So uh, the other, this is one of the most important aspect in your particular case. So now we move on to the other more important aspects on your palm, that are there few. This is the area of Jupiter. This is the area of high position and honor. If you have got perpendicular lines under it, it is considered to be good. It is said that people who have got perpendicular lines under the mount of Jupiter would basically rise up to high positions. So this is one part. The other part is that you would notice that, I'll just zoom in so that you come to know. This is the heart line, and there's a line that is running parallel, kind of running parallel to the heart line. This is called, generally called, the girdle of Venus. Girdle of Venus basically increases our emotions, like it makes us more sensitive, it makes us more prone to ups and downs in our emotions. So it could mean hysteria, uncontrolled emotions. So it's always better to have controlled kind of emotions. People who have got controlled emotions can basically handle the problems in life in a much better way. So this is one part. It's better not to have this particular line, because it would make a person unnecessarily very hysterical or uncontrolled emotions. Or so it's better not to have this particular line. But apart from that, if you notice the perpendicular lines under the mount of on the mount of sun is considered to be good. These are prominent kind of lines, and you would find few dim kind of lines out here. This is a dim line. So the age, basically how it's calculated, imagine if there was a long line. I just draw the long line so that just to depict the age, and this is the headline. This particular age is before the age of 35. From here to here on the sun line is age 35, from 35 to 53, and 53 and beyond. So you would notice the line of sun is much more prominent after the age of 53. It basically depicts that the person would get better name and fame after the age of 53. But it is not necessarily that things are going to be better only after the age of 53. It can be, because generally it is better to have strong lines under it. It would basically depict the whole life and not necessarily only after the age of 53. This is my practical experience. Normally, if we measure the timeline, then anybody would say after the age of 53 things are going to be better. But things can't become better just suddenly in your life. It is not possible. So it's a gradual process. So it's not that nothing is going to happen in the earlier period. Many good things are going to happen, but better things are going to happen after the age of 53. You would notice that a V or Y like portion is also seen under the finger. It is considered to be good. The reason why I say it's good is because imagine that current is passing through your fingers, or rays are penetrating your fingers, and they're entering the palm area. So whenever they're entering the palm area, it is said that they're entering your life. And whenever we see a Y-like portion or a V-like portion pointing towards the finger, it could be out here, it could be out here, and any point. It is basically considered to be a better sign because it would trap those good energies entering your palm or entering your life and getting trapped out here. So getting trapped basically means that they remain in your life. So in your case, the sun line is very, very prominent, and sun line prominence brings result. Because if people have got a very dim kind of a line, it would make their career very dull type, that they would not know what to do or what not to do. But having a stronger line, like this is a strong line, but out here you would see these are weak lines. These are weak lines that have just drawn. So weak lines basically means doubts, and doubts do not bring results. So it's better to be very clear cut that what you want to do or what you not don't want to do. That is going to bring better result compared to not knowing what you want to do. Uh, the money line as such is very, very prominent. It's starting from the amount of moon. Moon basically depicts benefits coming to the person from outside India. It could mean help from females. Females could be mother, sister, wife, girl child, or females from outside the family. It could be any one of them. So those are the things, benefits that the person might. It could also mean that when the money line is starting on the amount of moon, it could also mean that the person might benefit from trading activity or service industry. So this is another good aspect. If we look at the amount of Mercury, this is the amount of Mercury. This area doesn't appear to be very prominent. Like there's no padding over it. There's no like flesh over it. There's no mount over it. But even if there's no mount, the good part is that there are perpendicular lines under it. Perpendicular lines and deep and clear lines, what they do is that they bring about a person to sharpen his skill. Sharpening of skills, whenever we see sharpening of skills, it basically depicts that the person is likely to be good at the skills, and because of being good at skills, the person would be able to make good amount of money in his life. So you would notice even this is a reasonably strong line of Mercury, and there's this money line, and this is the headline. So there's a triangle getting formed. So it's generally said people who have a triangle somewhere out here pointing towards three fingers. These are three areas. This is the Saturn area. Saturn basically money management. This is the Sun area, the name and fame area, and this is the skill area. So all of them like energies are getting trapped out here. So this is the starting point when benefits would start coming in. So the age at which the benefits are likely to start coming in could be approximately age. See, if this is the money line, so this is age 35. So this could be around the age of 31. That's the approximate age that I would say that benefits would start coming in. This cutting of line is not generally considered to be a good sign. It would have been better to not to have this kind of a line cutting over. Lesser the lines in this triangle, the better it is considered to be. And this is a new line that is starting below, like above the headline and below the heart line. So somewhere at the age of 35, 36 or 37, that's when some new work also might come into this particular person's life. And this area of Mount of Mars is a little bit rare. There are many lines over it. It's better not to have too many lines because this is the area of aggression and fire. If there are more lines over it, so the chances of the person getting angry over wrong issues increases. There are few like this is the heart line. There are few downward kind of lines pointing towards the base of the palm. It's because this creates anxiety, stress, and the person lacks concentration, and that's the reason why things are not so good. This is the lifeline, backward line from the lifeline towards the Mount of Mars. Again, this is the area of anger, aggression. So the anger and aggression takes over your life, and that could be the reason few problems might crop in. So this is what I was squeezing in the few things that I saw on your palm. Rest reading I would be giving uh, over the phone. And same, left hand is the hand of past, right hand is the hand of present, left is passive hand, right is active hand. Few similarities can be seen, the heart line again touching the headline. So the same indication, this is the heart line, our line that is running parallel out here. This is the girdle of Venus. So hysterical, uncontrolled emotions, and the line that I was mentioning, a new money line that has developed at a later age, somewhere at the age of 37. That also you can see in this case, and this is the main money line. That is quite strong. And this is again another sun line starting somewhere on the Mount of Moon. So name and fame, career growth happening far away from your birthplace. So that's it for now. Rest reading over the phone. Bye. Take care.